Hello! When I was younger, I didn't really have internet. The most entertainment I got out of my 3DS was downloading demos off the eShop before I managed to hack my DS some 4 or 5 years ago. Because of this, I've experienced a fair amount of demos from the Nintendo eShop. Everything from Etrian Odyssey to Harmonite, both of which I'm playing now, to games like Bravely Default, which I don't remember much of simply because I believe that it wasn't really my thing. All in all, due to the eShop closing, this is a review and retrospective on 3DS eShop demos. All the reviews are going to be pretty short. They're going to be really rapid fire, I guess is the term I should use. But first, demos were an interesting concept. I grew up on Nintendo hardware, so the 3DS eShop was the first time I got to experience demos. I was very surprised that they were just giving out little snippets of games for free. I wouldn't learn until later that the uses thing that they did was really odd compared to other consoles. I remember getting new Nintendo Network IDs to bypass the uses limit, or even going so far as to factory reset my DS. The uses policy essentially worked like this. When you download a demo, it would come with a limited amount of uses ranging from maybe 5 to 30. When you launch the software, it takes up a use, and once you have no more uses, you can't play the demo anymore and you're forced to delete it off your DS. This policy was interesting. I didn't understand the point of it. The only answers I can find online as to why this is a thing is that it is what it is, stop complaining, or that it's a good business decision because it'll make you want to buy the game. I don't know, I personally think that policy is kind of stupid. Having limited uses is just going to make me not want to play the demo, which is going to make me not want the game. Granted, there were special demos, which were demos without any limited uses. Demos like these included ones that you got through codes on Club Nintendo, so special versions of Monster Hunter demos, the Miitopia demo, Bravely Second, and more. Although, if you lacked access to regular internet, there was a fair chance that you lacked any access to these special demos due to having to get them off Club Nintendo. Every once in a while, Nintendo would throw a demo icon onto your home screen, trying to convince you to download said demo from the eShop. That's about it, though, and you could delete the icon from your home screen if you wish to do so. The icons came with a little blurb about the game, and when you would try to launch them, it would ask you if you wanted to download it from the eShop, and if you said no, it would ask you if you wanted to delete it off of your home menu, at which point you could say yes, and it would go away. So, demos were pretty big for some people, including me. So what do I think of some of them today, now looking back on them from the perspective of someone who can play the actual games? This is a huge rapid-fire review of about 5 different eShop demos or free-to-play games that I remember growing up playing. Enjoy! Order Up was a game of all time. It was a basic restaurant simulator where you're tasked with making food and getting drinks. It's basically just a series of small mini-games to prepare different foods so you can hand them off to the customer. The game has a charm. I can't exactly pinpoint what that charm is, but it had something that kept younger me coming back. I remember entirely not really enjoying the art, but it was kind of like a car crash where I just didn't want to look away, but even though I didn't really like it. I haven't played the full version of the game. I likely won't because I'm vegan and that's just not my thing anymore. For the normal person though, I would say it was a very entertaining demo, especially for young children. The game just isn't very gravitating. Harmonite was fun. One of my first rhythm games, Harmonite is a fun little romp where you press buttons to music, like most other rhythm games. The music is good, it's developed by Game Freak, the graphics look really good, I greatly enjoyed the art style of this game. The demo goes until the first boss, which is like Robot B, I think? Then once you beat that, you're invited to buy the game from the eShop. I think the story follows that, you're on Melodia, this planet, and, something happens, so you need to go on this, big journey to stop it. Very basic story. I'm playing the game today. I had a lot of fun with the demo when I was younger, so I'm playing the game today, and I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I'm not sure how long the game is, but all I know is that I'm still playing it, off and on. So it's obviously grasped me. The game has a unique charm, it kept me coming back for more. I definitely think it's the music and the art style that did it for me. Hatsune Miku Project Mirai Deluxe was the first Hatsune Miku rhythm game published in America that wasn't on a PlayStation console. Project Diva Megamix for a Nintendo Switch or for PC wouldn't come until way later inside of the future. So for now, this is what you were stuck with if you didn't own a PS4. Yeah, the demo was a lot of fun. For what it was. This is one of the ones where I caught myself factory resetting my 3DS for more uses. The demo came with 2 songs, Senbon Zakura and lots of laughs. The game doesn't play like a usual Project Diva game. The notes are on a track now instead of flying into the screen. This game is also a lot easier than Project Diva games, which I think makes it a good introduction to the series. I used to play this demo non-stop until I got the game for Christmas, Then I played the actual game nonstop. I don't play it anymore, due to having Megamix on PC, but I certainly recommend this demo to anyone who thinks they might be interested inside of rhythm games, or might be interested inside of Vocaloid music in general. Speaking of rhythm games, Fiat Rhythm Final Fantasy was a thing. Specifically, I played the demo for Curtain Call. It's really fun. I wasn't into Final Fantasy, and I'm not really into it nowadays either, but the music of this game and the gameplay grabbed me and did not let me go. I have this game on my 3DS, although I rarely play it simply because there's so much else I want to play first, and because rhythm games aren't that adhesive for me these days. This game, I believe, is also a good introduction to rhythm games if you like Final Fantasy and you want to start playing more rhythm games in general. I believe the demo came with a few songs, but that was enough for me. The music was really good, as is usual for Final Fantasy. I had a lot of fun with this one when I was younger, and if it sounds like your thing, I am sure that you will like it too. Crush 3D was a puzzle game that was essentially a remake of the original PSP version, according to the internet. Apparently, the PSP version got good reception. I've only ever heard of the 3DS version, and I've heard that the 3DS version did not get good reception. I don't remember this game that well. I know it was a puzzle game that involved like going from 2D to 3D. Every once in a while the game will pop into my head and I'll have the urge to go download it and play it. I haven't yet because my backlog is huge and ever growing, but I do want to play the game one day. I remember really liking the demo when I was younger, so I think I would enjoy the full game too, seeing as I'm pretty sure it's just more of what the demo offered. Denpamen. All free games got demos. These were a lot of fun. They were basically dungeon crawlers, and the way you got new party members was by finding them using your 3DS camera and proceeding to kidnap them using a net. I think the games have permadeath, so like when one of your party members dies, they're just gone. There's things like elemental Denpamen who have special abilities, which you could tell apart from regular ones by their antenna. Like, for instance, the ones with heart antennas I think healed other people. These were fun, really in-depth, shockingly, and I have the third one downloaded onto my DS. I just haven't gotten to it yet because of the aforementioned backlog. But one game I actually managed to get to as of recent was Odyssey. I played every demo there was for this series, and I wanted to play them numerous times. I'm currently playing the third game, which was for the Nintendo DS, but the fourth game got a demo and so did Untold, and I'm pretty sure more Odyssey games got demos, like Nexus, I just don't remember. I think I remember the Untold demo the most because it was the only Odyssey game with a discernible story. Basically, you get paired with these party members to go through a dungeon, which is usual Odyssey stuff. At the end of the dungeon, though, you find a girl that was locked in some machine and the demo ends there. I think you fight with her, with a boss at some point after she comes out of the machine and she, like, uses guns. But, yeah. I remember in the demo for the fourth game, you got to fight a foe, which is basically just a really strong, jacked enemy. The demos were a lot of fun. I played them non-stop until I ran out of uses. I want to play all of the games someday, but for now I'm just trying to make my way through the third game because the games are really long. If you like grindy games, turn-based games, or dungeon crawlers and you're okay with the games being pretty long, I think that this would be something that you'd be into. Phoenix Wright! I love Phoenix Wright games. I played the Dual Destinies demo, but I'm aware that there's a demo for Spirit of Justice too. The demo essentially took you through the tutorial trial, and that's about it. The demo trial is exactly the same as it was in the full game, with bum rap Rainy and everything. This is what got me hooked into the Phoenix Wright series. Nowadays, I've played every game except for the Japanese Investigations one, Apollo Justice, and Spirit of Justice, just cause their gameplay and stories didn't really click with me that much. But if you like visual novels, or investigation stuff, or just a riveting story, I think that Phoenix Wright would be something that is up your alley. Let's see, I kind of remember Puzzles & Dragons Super Mario Bros. Being interesting, but honestly that's about it. I have Puzzles & Dragons on my phone, and I want to play it. It just hasn't grabbed me yet like other games have. I remember the demo being really fun, though. It reminded me of Pokemon Shuffle. And speaking of Pokemon Shuffle, it wasn't really a demo. It was a free-to-play game offered by Nintendo. It was one of those games where you have like a certain amount of hearts, and when you play a level, you expend one, and it takes time to regenerate them. It was a very basic Pokemon-themed Match 3 game, but I remember there was, like, typing and all that, and, like, you would have to fight certain Pokemon, so you would form your team in order to be, like, super effective against the other Pokemon's type, and they had, like, special abilities and stuff. And they also had, like, Mega Evolution. I remember getting really far into the game as a child, and it still kind of interests me. I just haven't downloaded it onto my phone yet because I simply don't want to start over from my progress from years ago that I have since lost. I was like 50 or 60 levels into it. I just don't want to have to do that slog back. Speaking of, Pokemon Rumble World was cool too, and I also think that game was on the Wii U. Also a free-to-play game by Nintendo. You essentially took these little small Pokemon dolls, that kind of looked like balloons, and you traversed through different stages that had different themes, like they had like a grass one and a fire one, and you did this to like beat up other Pokemon and like fight a bigger boss one. You could acquire these Pokemon by getting lucky when you kill one, because when you kill one it could drop a mini version of itself that you then collect, so basically it's just a body collection marathon. I remember really liking this one, more than other people I think did. I remember hearing that, I don't really remember hearing about this game at all, actually. For a free-to-play game, it was engaging and entertaining for its time. It did what it was supposed to, and I remember really finding enjoyment in it. Alright, that's all I've got for now, mainly because this is going to actually take forever to record and edit. I'm going to stop here for my own sake, despite having more to say. There might be a part 2 to this someday, I don't know. I played a lot of demos when I was younger. Demos were interesting. I'm happy that we had them. I'm also really glad that the world of 3DS hacking has gotten so better that we don't need to rely on demos anymore. I'm aware the eShop doesn't exist anymore as of like the 23rd of March, something like that. If you want to relive some of these or just play games in general, hacking your DS is super easy. I'll have a link for how to do that inside of the description. It's hard to brick your system nowadays, it doesn't take a lot of time, the benefits are literally endless. If you want to find games, I can't help you with that, but there are subreddits that have the information that you're looking for. I hope you enjoyed these little mini reviews. I hope I've inspired you to pick up your 3DS again, because there's definitely a lot of hidden gems on there and stuff that I believe we all missed. Certainly, like, Animal Crossing is good, Harmonite's good, Order Up might be your thing if you're into that, Nintendogs is good if you like dogs and cats. I remember playing that one a lot when I was younger. Etron Odyssey is good. I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun writing this script. Thank you!